Thank you for joining us. Today is our third installment of our webinar series regarding employment practice liability and directors and officers insurance coverage. I am joined today with my coworker and friend, Diana Buscetto of SAVA Insurance. Diana, thank you so much for talking with me again. The last few sessions, we covered topics such as EPLI and D&O insurance, and we gave our viewers some information on the different types of coverage available. Since this is our last session, we wanted to do a recap of the D&O and EPLI insurance and what the policy includes and how these coverages respond in an actual claim scenario. So if we can kick it off, Diana, can you start off by just giving us a recap of the D&O policy?
I sure can. Thanks for having me again, Stephanie. And what we'll do is we'll start off with the directors and officers policy, just a recap of the coverage. So the directors and officers coverage is a policy that's put in place to cover any officers, board members, for basically any decisions that they make in the course of the organization. This could be anything from misappropriating donors' funds. This could be where you're not being transparent as far as the financial status goes, maybe not following bylaws. So this is a really important coverage, especially for people who volunteer on a board. This is giving the board and any officers of a for-profit organization as well coverage for those type of claims and decisions that they make on behalf of the organization.
Diana, that was great information. Thank you. Do you think you could give us an example of how this coverage would respond in a scenario?
I sure can. These are actual claim examples that we had gotten from one of our carriers. One example is the organization was sued by 3 different donors. The donors went and sued them for money that they donated to the organization because it wasn't earmarked for the things that they had told them that it would go towards. So 3 of the different donors went and sued the organization, the board, for the D&O coverage. They ended up getting settlement, defense costs. So for those 3 people who went and sued that organization, it ended up being a total of $530,000. Wow. So something as simple as just saying, you know what, XYZ gave us a donation of $100,000 and said they wanted it to go towards a new gymnasium. And the board ends up saying, oh, well, you know what, we really could use books over here or this over there. That donor told them it was to go to something specific. So they went back and they sued them, basically saying, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And that small organization, if they didn't have the coverage in place, they would have had to pay $530,000 out of pocket. That wrecks a nonprofit or even a for-profit business. And it covers the settlement and defense costs. That's the big thing.
And probably wasn't even done maliciously. Could have just been a simple mistake and an error
Correct.
on the part of that particular nonprofit and could have cost them way more than that donation was earmarked for. Wow.
Agreed.
Very scary. How about for EPLI insurance? Can you do the same? Can you just give us a recap of the policy and then also provide us with a claim scenario?
Absolutely. So the employment practices liability would give an organization, whether it's for-profit or nonprofit, coverage if an employee sues them for wrongful termination, discrimination, or harassment. So these could be anywhere from a volunteer, an independent contractor, an employee. All 3 of those could go and try to sue that organization for those different things. It's actually interesting because this type of claim, an employment practices liability claim, is 3 times more likely than somebody having a fire. Like, think about that.
Wow.
That's how often these type of claims are happening. And a lot of times people always think like, oh, this would never happen to me. I work with my family. I work with my friends.
Right.
Well, guess what? When something happens and you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, it doesn't matter if they're a friend or family. This coverage is a huge coverage for any business or nonprofit to have. And just to kind of give you an idea, we pulled another case study. And just to give an example, there was a nonprofit who actually had somebody working for them for 10 years. Great employee, no issues, what have you. In that 10th year, there was poor work performance where he wasn't coming to work on time, was calling out sick a lot, what have you, not giving any doctor's notes. So the organization actually ended up terminating him. He went and sued them for discrimination, saying that they didn't set up the workplace in the manner to set him up for success, basically. Employer had everything documented, all the T's crossed, all the I's dotted, and that claim they ended up paying out $120,000 for defense and settlement cost. So the hard part is an organization can do every single thing the right way. But at the end of the day, sometimes you settle, you could do everything and not have anything wrong happen and still be brought into this type of claim. So something for all businesses, whether for-profit or nonprofit, to really consider.
Agreed. I think that's my biggest takeaway from all of this is that really, truly a business could be doing everything by the book or believe that they're doing everything by the book with truly no malicious intent whatsoever.
Absolutely.
And they still could run into a very serious business altering, financially altering scenario if they don't have this type of insurance. So
agreed.
This has been a huge eye opener for me. I'm hoping it will provide a wealth of information for everybody that gets to view this. I can't thank you enough for sharing.
Well, I appreciate you having me, and we always love doing these series with you.
Thank you, and we'll do them again. So we thank everybody for watching. We appreciate your time and hope you all have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to Diana directly. We have included her contact information at the end of the video.